Hey, all, Chris Mystery Cleaning Wins the File Coast once again. So massive thanks to those that have liked, shared, and subscribed to the channel. It means a lot that that people support the channel and what we're trying to do here. So thanks very much. I wanted to do a response video to a comment that got put in one of my previous videos from Dan Strickland, who's basically asking if he's is he crazy for wanting to give up his £29,000 a year job to become a window cleaner? Well, you know, you might be crazy in spite of that, not necessarily because of it. But no, joking aside, I don't think it's crazy to want to start your own business. I think if you do choose to start your own business, you have to decide, you know, is it something that you think you can make a go of? And you know, and I would say that if you do decide to sort of go and do something like, you know, become your own boss, then do it slowly in stages if you have the choice. Okay. How Dan's situation differs from mine, as I've mentioned in previous videos, for those that have just joined the channel, when I started my business, I didn't have another job. I'd lost my job. I'd lost my home, and me and my wife, we ended up moving in, and my daughter, we ended up moving into mother-in-law's house to start again. You know, it's, you know, needs must. You know, when the rubber hits the road, you've got to make decisions, and that, you know, for us was as luck would have it, my mother-in-law sort of stepped forward and helped me out and said we could go and live in her house, etc., and get ourselves sorted. And without her and without her support, we would probably still be struggling, truth be told. So, you know, credit where it's due. But so again, I moved to a new area. I didn't know anybody at all. I knew my wife, and, you know, then slowly got to know her friends, etc., and all that sort of stuff. All my mates lived the other side of Lancashire, so I was, you know, starting again from scratch. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything, and I needed to find a job. And unfortunately, being in Blackpool, the only place at that time that was offering full-time employment was the Pleasure Beach, and it was seasonal. And it's, you know, it's quite hard to get on those kinds of jobs if, you know, for my age, etc. I applied to work at the Tip. I applied to work, where did I apply? So there was the Tip. There was a farm that I got, you know, I applied to work for. I ended up working part-time at Witherspoons, part-time at Argos. I was in the Army Reserve for a time, so that helped bump my earnings up, etc. But for the most part, you know, it was, you know, starting again. So, you know, I started, you know, a little window cleaning around on the side. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I've done a video about that in the past. I'll leave that up here somewhere. But if you have an established job that's, you know, paying you £29,000 a year, you know, before tax, you know, let's do the maths on this, right? If you have, you know, if you can earn, you know, close to that, you know, within a couple of years, starting up, etc. So, you know, just start up small and build it up. I think if somebody who didn't have a financial cushion behind them, and again, I don't know the ins and outs of Dan's life, etc., the whys and wherefores of his existence, etc. I don't know if he's got money to spend or a financial cushion set aside that he could start and live off that cushion until such time his business picks up. I've no idea. But, you know, let's assume for a moment that he doesn't. You know, the best way to do this is to start small and scale gradually over time, learn lessons, make mistakes. Okay, you're going to make many mistakes. And you could be the most learned person in the world. You could read all the books you like. You could speak to all the business owners that you like. You know, you can watch videos like this. You will still make mistakes. There will still be things that happen that will trip you up. And they did with me. And any self-respecting business owner that's got an ounce of integrity or honesty in them will tell you the same thing. There are, we are, as human beings, we make mistakes. We're flawed beings, okay? We're not, we're not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy, We're human beings. We make mistakes, and you just have to accept that. Now, there are the other side of it is, like I said, I've mentioned as well, is about making mistakes and starting small. There are people out there who are technicians. That is to say that they are, they can do a job really, really well. For example, they can clean a window really, really well. But their issue is that they can't talk to people. They can't gather customers, or they struggle. They're struggling engaging in and how they carry themselves around other people, etc. And like anything else, it's a skill. Public speaking and stuff like that is a skill. And in much the same way how you talk to people one-on-one, it's about, it starts with having the confidence to know your worth as a human being, to know that, you have just as much right to talk to that person, okay, as anybody else, okay, and the worry of ridicule, etc., and all this sort of stuff, it's a skill, and you'll get to learn that. But better to learn it when you're starting small. Better to go through that when you're starting small, because I would not go out and spend thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds to start a business up, to then realise, oh, I don't know how to talk to people and all this sort of stuff, and for it to all come crashing down around your ears, and for ultimately a bill to land on your table and say, well, actually, yeah, that's cool. Well, you've tried that and it didn't work out, but guess what? You still owe me my money. You know what I mean? So think carefully about it, is what I would say. Do your research. Look into areas that you know that you're weak in, or that you suspect you don't know the full details of. Talk to people that are cleverer than you, and I don't mean I'm cleverer than you lot. I'm not saying that. But for example, Julie is my accountant. Anything related to accountancy, I talk to her instinctively, pick up the phone and ring her. If there's something relating to health and safety, I know broad brush, roughly, what I need to do as an employer to carry forward and be a responsible business owner, etc., from the perspective of health and safety. But I can't tell you what legislation and all this sort of stuff, and paragraph this, subsection that, and all that crap. I have Mark, who does my health and safety, etc., and I defer to him on all things health and safety. And I've even got in recent times, my mum, who used to be a medical secretary, she now does my paperwork and admin, etc., and gathers receipts and does my books, etc., and prepares them for my accountant, for which I pay her a little bit of a wage, etc. So the thing is defer on difficult subjects to people who are cleverer than you, and then get out of the way. Yeah, that's what I would do. But the other option might be as well, is if you decided that no, I really, really want to start a business, etc., but I'm not sure about the whys and wherefores. There is a franchising option open to everybody. In various sectors, not just in window cleaning, etc. There are window cleaning franchises, etc., all over the country. And I would, Google those and get the information packs and all that sort of good stuff before you make a decision. But I'm not trying to sell anything, by the way. I'm not. But I am franchising my business, etc. I do not currently have any franchisees, but it is something that we'll be building up over the next couple of years. We've got all the paperwork in order. We have the actual agreements all in place. We have a structure in mind, etc. So if, for those technicians out there that are perhaps good at an aspect of the job, etc., but need mentoring and helping through the rest of the process, we can offer that service as well, you see. So, that's the other side of it, is if you think that you'd want to sort of let yourself into a business slowly and gently and easily, and you have money behind you, then a franchise might be an option for you. But if money is tight, if money is an issue, then all I would suggest is start small, start on your weekends, you know, sacrifice one day a week, one afternoon a week, whatever works around your lifestyle, etc., and go from there. And you'll soon realize whether or not it's for you. Better to learn these decisions starting small in the early days than to go out there and spend a lot of money. So, but I hope that was useful. Again, if anybody has any queries, comments, suggestions, etc., please feel free to leave them in the comment section, etc. And yeah, have a good and prosperous and productive week. I'm gonna go swimming myself now, so I've got done for the day. I'm gonna go and get some swimming done, and then do a bit of paperwork. I've got a quote to run this afternoon as well. But aside from that, my time's my own. So on that rather contrived bombshell, keep on keeping on. I'll see you guys in the next video. All the very best.